Hey YouTube, it's Hassana, Lapband PA. Just talking about again Lapband PA's journey in weight loss surgery. So it's been a bit of time since I made a video. I think it was week 9 of my journey when I made my last video. Just as a recap, I had Lapband surgery on April 5th, 2012. I started out prior to my pre-op diet at 278 pounds. On the day of surgery, I was, I believe, down about 15 pounds, so I think it was 263 if I recall correctly. My last video, I was 237 pounds. That was at week 9. And now we are at week 14, and I am 226 pounds. So I just have to say, woohoo! I at least hit my 50-pound goal. My real 50-pound goal was actually for my birthday, which is August 27th, and I reached it a month and a half early. Actually almost 2 months early. So I just thank God, because it's been hard getting here, and I know it's going to be just as hard, even harder, getting down to my goal weight. But I am trying to stay motivated, definitely staying dedicated, although I am not perfect in any way. But this journey I'm really enjoying. I continue to maintain a workout regimen 4 to 5 times a week, typically 5 times a week. Each of those days I do cardiovascular, so that I'm getting in at least 4 hours of cardiovascular, whether it be my favorite right now, which is Zumba class or hip hop classes, because I've always loved to dance, so that makes that fun. Or it has to be elliptical training, or sometimes I do varying inclines with walking on the treadmill. So I do kind of try to change up my routine to hopefully trick my body a bit. I'm also doing weight training at least 3 times a week. I do work on my core each of those days, and then my upper body at least 2 days, and my lower body at least 1 day. So that's been my kind of workout routine. In terms of eating, I'm staying between 1,000 and 1,200 calories, like I've told everybody before, blah, 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 blah. I had a little bit of a tough go around 4th of July week while I was away on vacation at my sister's in Texas. So my eating habits included an increase in sugar, included an increase in carbs, included an increase in water weight, basically. Probably, well, it might have been more than just water weight. Honestly, I'm not sure. The reason I say water weight is because my calories still particularly stayed under 1,200, except for 2 days I did go up to 1 day was 1,500, 1 day was 1,600, but my sodium was out of control. I try to stay under 2 grams of sodium, which is what I typically recommend for all my cardiac patients, although I'm not a cardiac patient, but I do know that I retain more water, the more sodium that I take in. And that is typical, actually, of African Americans who are on the verge of high blood pressure or have high blood pressure, that the salt intake actually can affect their blood pressure, and anyone, it can affect your body systems. Anyway, let's get off of the medical subject and get back to the Lapband and journey subject. I had my second fill just prior to about a week prior to going away for the 4th of July. Don't tell my surgeon that, because I'm not supposed to travel for 2 weeks. But I wanted the fill because when I went into my surgeon, I actually told him, you know, I went out to dinner a few nights ago for a pharmaceutical dinner, and I could eat a 10-ounce steak. I should have never even tried to eat a 10-ounce steak, because honestly, I've been doing well with a 1.5 cups of food, not feeling full, but definitely feeling satisfied in terms of being able to walk away. But instead of asking how much the steak weighed before I ate it, I waited until I was 3/4 of the way through it, and a 14-ounce steak, I ate 10 ounces of it, and honestly did not feel full. Satisfied, yes. Full, no. So I was looking forward to my fill. Well, fortunate yet unfortunate for me was that my physician wanted to be very conservative, basically because he felt, you're doing good without fills. What do you need a fill for? He didn't specifically say that, but he was very limited in terms of how much he gave me based on that. And he didn't say that until afterwards. So when I said to him, well, how much did you give me? And he said, well, I put 2 more cc's in, which for me gives me a total of 5 cc's, maybe 5 to 5.5, looking at the syringe. I said, oh, okay, well, I thought you were going to give me a little bit more since I have a larger 14 cc band and I'm still able to eat as much steak. He's like, yeah, but you're doing so well. You know, I had lost, I forget the exact number. I think it was like 20 pounds, around 20 pounds in a month between visits seeing him. And I was very happy about the 20 pounds, but still a little bit frustrated in the fact that I don't feel like I'm in my green zone. I didn't before that fill, and honestly, I still don't after that fill. But I charge on, and I continue to try to eat the cup and a half of food, and feel satisfied by that. And occasionally I do a snack, which my physician, that is a part of the rules, do a snack if you feel like you need one. And typically my snack is some type of almonds or pudding or something like that. So I've been, keeping a sugar-free pudding actually. So trying to keep very healthy. So I'm having a little bit of anxiety, I must say, or have been having a little bit of anxiety even leading up to getting down into the 220s to 230s. Basically because I'd say 5-6 years ago, I was in that range and stayed in that range for a long period of time, honestly, both before I had my son, which was 13 years ago. Before I had my son, and then after I had my son, that was really the weight range that I really stayed in. So I'm kind of anxious about getting in and out of this weight range. Currently, as I said earlier, I'm at 226, and the 230s went pretty quickly. 220s are going a bit slower, but that has to do with me not being properly eating while I was on vacation. In terms of the extra sugars, extra carbs. Although I did continue to work out my 4 to 5 days. I think I did 5 days while I was away for those 7 days. So I did maintain that, but, I know that my eating wasn't 100% at all. I also made sure I did continue with my protein first while I was on vacation. I continued to get my water in, at least 8 cups a day while I was on vacation, as well as now. So that I could say I'm proud of, but I'm not, again, proud of my eating. A lot of people a few weeks ago were talking about emotional eating, and, I always thought, oh, you're not an emotional eater. When you get upset, you don't run to food. And the more I thought about it, it's not only running to food when you're upset, but I did find that my emotional eating actually comes from a standpoint of boredom or celebration. Hey, it's 4th of July. Everybody else is having ribs and having potato salad. I don't really eat potato salad, but anyway, things that I'm not eating on my current on my current journey in terms of lifestyle. And I do find that during those types of celebrations, I want to join in. And, I found that although I do put the protein in my mouth first, I do want to get a little bit of those extra carbs and those extra sugars in. And I'm trying to maintain control of that, which has been very difficult. My first vacation, as I said, was a couple weeks ago, or the week of 4th of July. I'd say my eating in terms of my 100% goal, I was at probably about 60% of what I expected myself to be at. I am actually going to Florida soon too, and my goal there is to at least be 80%, 90% to goal in terms of eating. I'll be honest, I don't plan on being 100%, but I do also reserve every other week a single day for a high calorie day, which is usually 1,500, 1,600 calories, which is what I consider a cheat day. But that I am planning for while I'm in Florida. So that's why I say 80 to 90% versus my 100% goals. I typically, for breakfast, am eating a Fahi yogurt, usually put some sugar-free flavored syrup in there and some blueberries, and then doing a protein shake. It's a chai tea latte protein shake that I usually do. So that gets me in a good amount of protein, and I've found that I've never been a breakfast eater, and the most important thing for me is focusing on getting that in, because if I at least get that in, I haven't been hungry during the day, and it gives me a great jump start on my protein for the day, as well as my fiber, which I watch very closely for the day. It also is pretty low in calories, as well as lower in fat, so it gives me some leeway throughout the rest of the day. Low in carbs as well, so it gives me not no carb, but lower in carbs, so it does give me that leeway. I have to say the motivation around me, I get a lot of motivation from YouTube. And while I was away in Texas for the 4th of July week, I had to say I wasn't watching as many YouTube videos, and I found that my motivation definitely wanes when I'm not watching my YouTube videos. I do have motivation around me and support systems around me who will pretty much respect, you know, the changes that I'm making or the choices that I make when I'm not eating what they're eating. But also won't hesitate to say, and on occasion, oh, don't you think you're losing it too fast? Well, you can go out this one day and, you know, all things that, you know, kind of demotivate you in a way, not that they're being intentionally harmful, but, you know, it can be a little bit frustrating. But on the same token, I think that having Facebook and YouTube, I didn't mention Facebook earlier, have both helped in terms of keeping motivated despite some of the demotivating factors around me. I think that's it for the video today. I don't want to make it too long, even though I haven't been on in a while. But I wanted to say hello again, let you know how I'm doing, and tell you I missed you guys. Oh, by the way, I did go to a meet and greet, mini meet and greet in Jersey, Long Branch, New Jersey on Sunday. Got to meet several wonderful people who are probably also going to be at the Atlantic City meet and greet in August. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Sorry I had to slip out a little bit early. Wish I could have done the walk on the beach, but I had a great time, and I can't wait to have the whole weekend to hang out in Atlantic City. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.